What's up, everybody? It's your boy French Cooking, and welcome to my brand new series called Making Beats for Forgotten Artists. This series is about rappers you haven't heard in a long time, or maybe even at all, but who at one point had a big impact on the hip-hop music scene. Personal issues aside, I'm going to be delving into what I believe happened to their music careers from more like a business, marketing, or like an overall music industry perspective. And after all that, I'm going to be making a beat tailored to their personal style. It won't be like a step-by-step tutorial like my other series, How to Make Beats for Free, but if I do something that I feel is worth explaining, then I'll certainly pause and take the time to do that. So hold on to your genitals and let's get started. In this first episode, I'll be talking about the rapper Q, who wasn't born in Atlanta, but was raised there and is very much associated with that city. Q busted onto the scene in 2013 with the hard-hitting track OG Bobby Johnson. It only managed to hit number 20 on the Billboard hip-hop music charts, but it had millions of views on YouTube, and that summer was really difficult to go outside without hearing it blasting out of somebody's car, as shown by King James himself when he posted about it on his Instagram. It even led to some remixes with Snoop Dogg, Pusha T, Young Jeezy, T.I., A$AP Ferg. I mean, those are some heavy hitters right there. However, it was actually A$AP Ferg's label mate A$AP Rocky who pointed out that his flow was a little bit too similar to Future's at that time, particularly from the track Shit that was released a few months prior. That might as well have been the nail in Q's coffin, because copying or biting another rapper's flow is completely forbidden in the rap game. Or is it? In Jay-Z's song called The Bounce, he actually takes a shot at copycat rappers by saying, "Now it's a whole museum of Hov MCers, everybody duping the flow." And yet, when he was pressed about reusing a lot of Biggie's lyrics, Jay-Z responded with, "I study music and different emotions and things like that. So if I'm inspired by it, I just use it." As for the producer and the feature on that same track, Kanye West was once quoted saying that hip-hop is actually based on biting. But he also accused Just Blaze of copying his producing style on Jay-Z's album The Blueprint. Now, we know to take the things Kanye says with a grain of salt, but these contradictions are, well, contradictory. So how do we know when copying is acceptable and when it's unacceptable? The best way that I can answer that is by splitting it into three categories: replication, emulation, and imitation. Replication is the act of copying or reproducing something. An example of that is Drake's verse in Who Do You Love by YG. Drake is no stranger to paying homage to other rappers, but his verse on YG's track was almost identical to Rappin' for Tay's lyrics in Players Club. Drake ended up paying the retired rapper 100 bands and everything was forgiven. So is replication acceptable? Yes, with proper compensation. Next, emulation is the effort to match or surpass a person or achievement. Take Bodak Yellow by Cardi B, for example. Cardi emulated Kodak Black's flow from his song No Flockin', and she didn't even try to hide it. She kind of named the song after him, and even doubled down by saying that she could take any rapper's flow and body it. She definitely did that in this case, because the song reached certified diamond in 2021, at which point she clarified that Kodak actually benefits from this as well. So is emulation acceptable? Yes, with proper credit. And finally, imitation is resembling something that is genuine and usually of better quality. Think about that bootleg LV purse that you bought your girl for her birthday. It's trying to be something it's not, and that's just not acceptable. Now, that's not to say that Q didn't have talent or anything. In fact, Future actually tried to sign him at some point. But I think when your reputation takes a hit like that so early on in your career, it's very difficult to bounce back and to get the industry to back you. And unfortunately for Q, he just wasn't able to reach the potential. I hope that was informative for you guys. I hope you learned something. And now I'm just going to have some fun and make an Atlanta trap type beat that I think Q could have definitely bodied. Alright, so what I'm thinking here is brass, high and low, string pluck, some sort of a weird lead, and just really hard hitting drums. found these brass stabs in this random drum kit that I had, and they're hard as hell. And really, my thought process is just putting them where I think I'm going to put my 808. So I'm going to put my 808 on the 1 and on the 4th measure of the first bar. And then this one's going to be on the snare, but that's okay. It'll sound pretty good still. This lead is actually a synth one-shot that I had right here. But I wanted to have that weird kind of warped gliding sound to it that a lot of Atlanta trap beats had back in the day. So to do that, I went to Program Edit, scrolled all the way to the right down here, and I turned the legato option on and increased the time meter up to 48. And I also added a quick note on the 1 down here so that it has something to glide into. So for these 8 bars, I just created a string pluck pattern that I liked. The first 4 bars are identical to the second 4 bars. The only difference is that I brought this note, this D sharp, up 1 octave to give it a little bit more variation. That's it, man. I hope I didn't go too fast, but these Atlanta trap beats are some of the simpler beats to make. However, they're also some of the hardest beats out there. So give it a shot if you haven't already. It's a lot of fun. In arranging this beat, I organize everything in sequences like I always do. So a sequence for intro, sequence for verse, so on and so forth. And usually what I do is I go into, into the song menu, and I just show the full beat from there. But you can't really see much. So I'm going to do something a little bit different today. Instead, I'm going to copy everything into one sequence. So it'll make it easier to show everything more clearly to you guys. And an easy way to do that is I go to, for instance, my intro. I go into edit, I go sequence, and copy bars. And I can copy bars from my chorus into my intro, and I can select where it starts. So obviously it's going to start at bar 8 because my intro is 8 bars, and I want the chorus to start after that. And then you just click merge, and that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you liked the new series. And if you did, let me know which rapper you want to see me cover next. I'll be back next week with another How to Make Beats for Free. But until then, keep producing.